Right now, there's many changes going on across the United States regarding food and food assistance from the federal government and from state agencies. Today, I'm going to break down what's going on, how SNAP benefits are going to change moving forward in 2025, and what is likely going to impact you if you are receiving SNAP benefits at this time. So, I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on, and how millions of people could be impacted because of a couple decisions. But before we get to the updates, I do ask one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. Currently, there are tens of millions of Americans receiving SNAP benefits every single month. The average beneficiary receives over $200 a month in benefits. This is pretty big. Now, $200 a month is not a lot of money, but to many, this is what is putting food on the table and ensuring that they have something to eat. Now, there's some big changes. I want to show them both to you. First off, SNAP benefits would be expanded under a new bill. But does this mean that your benefit is enhanced? Does your benefit get bigger? Well, we're going to address this in just a moment. But then there's also this. RFK Jr. issues a new directive after a certain state snaps move on soda. Guess what? A certain state banned soda purchases using SNAP benefits. That right there is actually causing many people to be somewhat alarmed because they do purchase soda and snacks using their EBT benefits. So we're going to get to that in a moment as well. But first, let's talk about this new bill right here. Now, I want to show you something. First, you need to understand who this bill is going to impact, and then we'll address it further in some of the issues here. It says, a newly proposed bill would allow striking workers to qualify for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits if passed. This means if you're a union worker and you decide you are going to go on strike, well, you can actually apply for SNAP benefits. Yeah, let's keep reading this. It says Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, a Democratic Representative Alma Adams of North Carolina, and Greg Casar of Texas introduced the Food Secure Strikers Act this week. Why it matters? Well, let's look at this. It says SNAP offers monthly food assistance to low and no income households. In 2023, roughly 42.1 million people relied on SNAP per month, making up 12.6% of the U.S. residents. Recipients get an electronic benefit transfer card, an EBT card, which they can then use at grocery stores to purchase food and beverages. Okay. But here's what you need to know. It says the newly proposed Food Secure Strikers Act would enable striking union workers to earn SNAP benefits for the time they are out of work. Striking workers have historically been excluded from SNAP eligibility unless they were already eligible before the strike. Unions sometimes help striking workers by offering some support money, but often the workers are putting their basic necessities like food and housing on the line. Okay, here's the issue, okay? Now, yes, Democrats are really pushing for this, but here's the problem from the Republican side. Republicans say that that's great, but where is the money coming from? We are going to put X amount of dollars into the SNAP benefit program or for nutrition assistance, but where does the additional money come from if all of a sudden unions decide we're going to strike? And how does this, from a company's standpoint, if they're fighting against the union or trying to negotiate, well, union workers then have more benefits coming from taxpayers. So why are taxpayers paying for people to go on strike? That's the big question. So again, I don't know if this is going to go through, but if it does, according to one source, then this could actually lower your benefit amount. So again, that's a problem. But let's get to the next story because I know a lot of people are asking about this. What is the new directive from RFK Jr.? Well, look at this. This is why it's so important. It says right here, if governors follow Kennedy's request, millions of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program recipients could face new limits on what they can purchase. Kennedy touts the directive as a means to push recipients to use their benefits on healthier options. Okay. Here's the reason why they're even discussing this. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey, he's a Republican, he submitted a waiver to the federal government to block the use of SNAP benefits to purchase soda as part of new food and nutrition legislation. Well, look at this. This is actually from, this is actually from RFK. It says, I urge every governor to follow West Virginia's lead and submit a waiver to the USDA to remove soda from SNAP. If there's one thing we can agree on, it should be eliminating taxpayer-funded soda subsidies for lower-income kids. I look forward to inviting every governor who submits a waiver to come celebrate with me at the White House this fall. Yeah, there is a very good chance more states are going to follow in the footsteps of the West Virginia governor. I want to read you this as well. It says, Morrisey also signed legislation that would ban several types of food dye from school lunches beginning in August in an attempt to make food healthier in West Virginia schools. Now, the thinking behind this is pretty simple. If we can make food healthier, if we can stop the taxpayer-funded soda subsidies and the junk food, then maybe we have healthier kids and healthier adults where we're eating more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and meats and proteins and salads and things like that. But then it's like, okay, if we do this and people become healthier, then maybe we stop spending as much money on medications as people get older. Maybe we stop spending so much money through Medicaid in order to help people get the proper care they need because, again, they haven't been taking care of themselves for several years. That's the thinking behind this. Now, I don't know which direction every single state's going to take, but what I can tell you is there's going to be changes. Look at this. It says, SNAP is effectively a subsidy for all kinds of foods, and we have proven methods of incentivizing healthy choices without restriction. Research suggests that healthier foods are often more expensive and in poorer neighborhoods harder to find. They are. This is why some are saying that from a federal standpoint, RFK Jr. can't come out and say, you know what, we're banning all junk food, we're banning all sodas, because in some areas, in some locations where they only have like a small little gas station that sells some food, if that's the closest thing and that's the only thing, the problem is if you limit what they can purchase, and in many of these small locations, there is no fresh food. There is no fresh vegetables. There are no meats. A lot of it's just packaged goods. And so what some are saying is that, yeah, we can't ban it on the federal level, but every single state could, or we could go even deeper where now cities are banning certain products based off of just how they are doing and kind of their population and things like that. So we're going to see what happens, but all I can tell you right now is SNAP benefits will change under RFK's directives, but how those changes affect you, well, that's what we have to wait and see. Only time's going to tell. So that's what we know as of today. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.